In this video, we make a port call in Nassau aboard the Holland American Line's Nieuw Amsterdam. First, we take a look at what cruisers encounter on the pier, followed by looking at unique things on the Nieuw Amsterdam, a few interesting people, and how some things are done on the ship. Depending on the information source, the lengths of cruise ships, and if smaller ships are positioned one ship behind the other, the current cruise terminal ship capacity is 6 or 7 or 8 ships. From the Lido deck of the Nieuw Amsterdam, we look down on the pier, the covered walkways, the tour groups, and the cruisers making their ways between the ships in the currently single gateway of the city of Nassau. Let's go below and cross the gangway to the pier.
Stephen, have a great day. Please hold on the handrails. The gangway is very stiff.
So I'm looking at the covered walkway, which is not accessible because they're still doing work on it. Fortunately, we're on the shaded side, and I think later in the day, when the sun sets in the west, maybe the Disney ship will block us from sunlight. So let's walk to the end of the pier, see what's going on. There appears to be no schedule for the shuttles and no specific pickup drop-off stations. I noticed that if there were seats available, the shuttle drivers would pause to offer rides to people with wheelchairs, walkers, canes, noticeable leg and foot prostheses, and people with obvious limps. We are at the end of the covered walkway, which is unavailable. So from here down to the intersection, we're out in the sun. And then if you're going into Nassau proper, you walk down another long pier, which looks like we may or not be able to use the covered walkway, and then head into zigzag through the barriers to get into the village. The village meaning shopping areas. Three ships in today. There's room, I believe, for 8 or more. We have Independence of the Sea, the Disney Wish, and the Nieuw Amsterdam Holland America cruise. With the ongoing construction and potential for safety issues, it may be too early to install benches for resting. Let's take one more look. The old cruise port is disappearing as it changes with the times. From this video, we see that there is a grand effort to transform the port not only for food, drink, and retail, but also for cultural venues and entertainment. And maybe a landscaped waterside park and easier access points between the city of Nassau and the new terminal facility.
You're having a wonderful visit this voyage. I'm Erin, I'm your cruise and travel director. And it sounds like you have a busy night ahead. You've got the Step 1 dance company, you want to head to Lincoln Center Stage. And so there's all sorts of stuff on Music Walk, and so I hope you enjoy. Or maybe just catch a little snippet of each show, but welcome back. It's good to have you here.
Okay. Each time we talked with cruise and travel director Erin Karpovich, we conversed in normal voices and without exaggerated facial expressions. She answered questions precisely and concisely. It's my kind of person. This is Mahdi, correct?
Yeah.
Mahdi. He's the head waiter out here.
Good morning, everyone.
Doing a
May I
great
have
job
your
today.
attention, please? This is the officer of
You
the
enjoyed
watch.
the breakfast?
with
Everything all
important
right?
announcement for all guests.
Thank you for a nice... I'd like to introduce two of the greatest guys that kept everything in order. And your name is?
Petros.
Is Petros and?
Jack.
Jack. Okay. Yeah, they've been taking care of things in the room all week long, always been on time. Put the sign out. They are there instantly. So thanks a lot, gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, sir. How are we doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. We're all right.
On this ship, butter was not served in the messy to unfold foil. It was served in small dishes, both in the main dining room and the Lido buffet. Fifteen and a half inches. $12 inches. Oh, 9.5 inches maybe. Notice the neck swivels so you can get water. You can get water on the surface here. Doesn't move up or down, it goes that way. Be careful washing your hands. You don't splash water up onto the other surface. For cabin service, use the door hanger, one side for do not disturb and the other side to request tidy up. No additional charge of breakfast may be ordered by cabin telephone, the Navigator mobile device app, or with a door hanger. We are on deck 3 aft in the men's room. Not a lot of fancy artwork here, but we do have a nice counter display. I'd like to draw your attention to the towel rack over here, individual towels. No paper towels, unless you absolutely want to use a paper towel. It's your choice. We recently went on our first cruise with Holland America. It was a 4-day cruise, 1 day in Key West, 1 day at sea, 1 day at Half Moon Key, 1 day at Nassau, with a return to Fort Lauderdale the next morning to Port Everglades. The New Amsterdam does not have a splash pool, no slides, no climbing wall. There's an outdoor court and a cage for basketball and other ball throwing and ball kicking activities. If there were amusement park rides, I didn't see them, and then again, I didn't look for them. There are clubs for those ages 3 to 17 years old, with designated controlled access compartments for them to gather during the day. Now, to me, it appeared that the ratio of minors to adults on this ship was less than what I have encountered on other ships that had amusement park rides and games and splash pads and parks and things like that. What stood out about the adult passengers was an obvious different manner of attitude and behavior of the majority of cruisers on this ship, especially their behaviors. For example, it seemed to me that there were more people out and about at sunrise than what I usually encounter. There were pairs of walkers and runners. There were singles in the Lido buffet reading and having a light breakfast. And several people with cameras were out recording the dawn and sunrise. On this ship, there were opportunities and places to eat, drink, and dance the night away. But that was not the single most important attraction to most of the passengers I met. On occasion in the early morning hours, there were noisy people returning to their cabins. They were noisy, but it was not that rowdy, drunken, stupid kind of noisy. Now, generally, people on the ship appeared to be more interested in quality than quantity when it involved food and alcoholic beverages. The most common trait I encountered among the passengers was the variety of lifestyle interest. In the conversations that I had, everybody enjoyed a good party, but there was the attitude that there was more to life than partying. As for ourselves, we did everything at a leisurely pace. We did not eat at the specialty restaurants because there were not enough days in the cruise to try everything. We had breakfast in the cabin 3 times. There's no charge for room service breakfast unless specialty food is ordered. We ate in the main dining room often. We liked the food and the service was very good. One afternoon, we had tea in the main dining room, 2nd floor. Afternoon tea is not a required cruise activity for us, but it's an elaboration added to the once-in-a-lifetime experience. At the Lido Deck Buffet, cruisers did not self-service with counter utensils. Crew stood behind the counters and served food to the cruisers on a plate. After being seated at a Lido buffet table, waiters would bring beverages to the table and serve refills upon request. There are the usual self-service drink machines with fruit juices, ice, water, hot coffee, hot tea, but they are not touch dispensers. You have to move your fingers up close to a sensor to get the beverage to dispense. And it works most of the time. The cabin smart TV was a wonderful information tool. Now in the past, each night, delivered to each cabin would be a booklet of 6 to 8 pages listing the next day's activities. Now it's all on the TV and a mobile device app. On the Nieuw Amsterdam, a daily events paper, still arrived in the cabin, but it was a bifold. Okay. Single sheet, small enough to fold and carry in a small pocket or bag. There is a digital device app called Navigator. It's a good information tool, not only for the current day's activities, but also future days' activities and their schedules. The Nieuw Amsterdam has a large theater with main floor and balcony seating. We saw one show there. It was a video presentation with live music. It was a nice change of pace from the usual sweeping, glaring, colored spotlights blinding the audience while singers scream lyrics and dancers thrash. Okay, so now you know. For me, louder is not better. Brighter is not better. Variations of ballet, jazz, and interpretive dancing are enjoyable. However, I do not enjoy frenetic, out-of-tempo flailing. We'd enjoy evenings of bar and show hopping along Deck 2, mixed in with strolling the outside promenade. All in all, our evaluation is that we will cruise with Holland America again. There is a style on Holland America that is not easily found or ever found on other ships. It's not snobbish, it's not an attitude of false airs and grace and haughtiness to enjoy pursuits other than partying. Now, we are not in the frame of mind that other cruise ships are bad. It's just that Holland America is different, and we will cruise with others, and now Holland America is in our mix of choices. Thank you for watching.